Hi guys, welcome back to This African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the daycare prices and how ridiculous it is. Very high. So I'm not gonna say ridiculously high. I'm just going to say like parents are struggling with daycare prices because there's a video we're going to be checking out where the girl was saying she's wondering how people are actually able to pay for it. It actually surprises me too a lot because when I hear the daycare prices, I'm like, wait, how much do you even make that? How is it possible that you'll be able to afford these daycare prices and pay for your child and do that while you're also trying to, pay your bills? Crazy thing is the people who actually work in these daycares, the normal employees, they don't really get paid much. And you would think that if they are collecting that huge amount of money from parents all the time, how is it possible that the people who work on in those places, in that field, do not get paid enough? They just get paid just little amount. Sometimes some of them even get paid about maybe $10 an hour or $9 an hour, could be 11. So it's within those range. I know there are some states or places that actually pay higher than that, but still it's not like a lot based on when you calculate as much as they get in. So yeah, these are the videos we're going to be checking out and see what people have to say about this. But before we get right into this video, make sure you please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And also leave your thoughts in the comment section by the end of this. Let's get right into it.
There is no reward for hardworking people anymore. My husband.
So please go watch your video before you watch mine. This is exactly how I feel right now. I make $19 an hour and I work in the healthcare field. And making $19 an hour working in the healthcare field, I still cannot afford childcare for my 2 kids. And not only that, but because of the pandemic, a lot of childcare facilities closed down. And the ones that were staying open, most of them were only able to stay open because of the government helping them with extra money because of what COVID did to all of them. But that program, that extra money, ended months ago. So now even more childcare places are now closing. So the very few ones that are staying open are charging astronomical fees. In my area, for 1 kid for full-time care is $940 a month. And I live in Central Florida. Not Orlando, north of Orlando, but Central Florida area. But yeah, $19 an hour. I work in the healthcare field. I have so many different certificates in the healthcare field, and we still cannot afford childcare. And we also still cannot afford a home. We're struggling just to afford groceries, and we're living with family because we can't afford our own place. And I work full-time, making $19 an hour.
My question is, when was somebody going to tell me how much daycare was? When? Because I guess I was off in La La Land somewhere. Why was I in the gas station today and I was eavesdropping on this lady's conversation behind me, and I slipped up and overheard her say that she pays $5.75 a week on daycare. When she said that, I was like, how much do you pay in daycare? She said $5.75 a week. That's how much I pay a week. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. How are people paying that? How much is the average person getting paid that have kids that can afford $5.75 a week? That's over $1,000 every paycheck if you get paid every other week. What about rent? What about car notes? What about, babe, my heart just sank when she said that. And she was just like, $5.75.
At least, let's say if the economy was actually kind of good, in a 2-parent household, maybe we would say, okay, the man will actually go and be working while the woman would stay at home and maybe take care of the kids and try to, be there to look after them so the children don't have to go to go to any daycare or go to any babysitter, because of course one of the parents is at home helping and assisting with that. So it will actually reduce costs, like you won't have to spend that money. And so while the mother gets to spend a lot of time with her children and actually raise them. But a situation where the economy is actually very bad with the inflation, most households really need two income to actually survive and be able to stand. And still, even with the two income, most people who actually do not earn a lot have to gather multiple jobs, more than one. And could be two, both parents might actually do that, and that means they're spending longer hours while staying away from home in order to do that. So it's making a lot of people's life very uncomfortable because it costs a lot. Like, it really does.
Daycare employee here of 7 years, and most of my content on TikTok is about childcare. I currently live in North Carolina, but I moved from South Carolina. The parents in South Carolina were paying $180 a week. And I thought that was expensive. Then I moved here. And of course, cost of living, inflation. That was back in 2018 when I lived in South Carolina. So we can expect that things are going to be a little bit more expensive. But child, when I moved here to North Carolina and I got a job in childcare, when I found out the prices that these parents are paying weekly, that's the first question I asked. Like, what do they do for work? And it got worse whenever I started actually working there and seeing how they live their daily life. Now, I won't out where I work at, but I will say that the prices for their daycare are on their website. So this is public knowledge. A parent of a full-time infant at my job is paying $360 a week for their child to attend my daycare. And let's do the math for fun. $360 a week, 4 weeks in a month, that is 1,440 times 12 months in a year, which is 17,280. A year, you're paying nearly $20,000 for your infant to attend daycare full time for the whole year? What do you do? And baby, that's for one child. Most of them have multiple children that go to the center. And here I am as a daycare employee, like, we barely make $20,000 a year. And the thing is, if they decide to keep their kids at a daycare for a day or two during the week, they're still paying that full-time price. So if you decide you don't want to be there, you're still going to pay. And these parents are just like, okay, we're going to be out for 2 days. It is what it is. Don't even bat an eye. They're on vacation. But that's what gets me. Because they're like on vacation 1 week, and then 6 months later, they're on another vacation. And then the cars that they drive are so nice. They're dressing to a T. Their kids are dressing to a T. They're gifting us things, teacher gifts. They got nannies. They're going to yoga in the morning time once they drop their kids off at daycare. And as a daycare employee, I'm not mad. But I do ask myself and my coworker every day, what the hell do these parents do? Where did they go to school? Did they just get lucky with their job? Like, I'm trying to figure it out, because $20,000 a year, almost nearly $20,000 a year for one child, that's crazy that someone can afford that. On top of still living like a luxurious lifestyle or being able to afford like plenty other things. I just want to know, how are people doing it?
I'm hopping on here to see if anyone else is in the same situation and why we are in this situation. Just for the record, I chose what we pay our babysitter. I think she deserves the amount she gets paid an hour. She's taking care of my 2 kids and teaching them and feeding them, and I think she deserves her hourly. However, the fucked up thing is that I'm on my way to my job that pays me half the amount of hourly that she's getting. So not only do I have to go to work to pay for my babysitter, but so does their dad. To pay for the other half and pay for food and pay for rent, pay for her house. Like, good job, America.
I know there are a lot of people that like working, but for me, if my paycheck is really below what I'm going to be paying the sitter, I might as well just sit at home and take care of the child and let my husband just pay the bills and do all the stuff, let him cover all the stuff, because apparently her paycheck just goes to the sitter and nothing else. And still at that, the husband has to also contribute. I feel like, well, maybe she just needs a break from the children, but other than that, really, like, there's no purpose on her going to work. The work is not rewarding to them.
It has even made some people decide to, rather than actually be spending that kind of huge amount of money for daycare and babysitters, they've decided that, okay, what they would do is, maybe I've heard one who does that her husband, they had to kind of choose find a job that will make their time kind of different. That means the time where the husband is at work, the wife is at home waiting for him to return, and then she can go to work, and then the husband will be there to take care of the children. So you see how it has, like, you guys just need to plan and be strategic. That means who can afford that kind of money if they tell their child to if they put their child in any daycare or with any sitter, they cannot afford it, because at the end of the day, the whole job will be useless at that point. And there are some who actually say that because of how expensive it is, they literally cannot, like, if the money is way above some certain level, it's almost the same as their pay. Like, possibly some babysitters might actually charge you, let's say for somebody who's making $15 an hour, babysitter charges you $13 an hour to keep your child, or maybe $14 an hour. Then it's like, what are you going to work for? Because I don't understand why you would even go. If you don't go to work, then you have nothing. But then at the end of the day, if you still go to work, you still don't have anything. And there's no assistance whatsoever. And then it's even worse when the person taking care of that child is just one person. It's one parent taking care of the child.
When the funding ends, that could mean 3 million mothers leave the labor force.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am well educated, and I know that historically most coincidences are not actually that coincidental. What am I talking about? First, let's set the stage with the video that I just stitched. If you are not aware, I'm going to do a very, very quick and high-level summary. Childcare is a necessity. It is what allows people to go to work. Childcare in America is really, really bad. Even with federal funding that has partially subsidized costs, the daycare and childcare workers are underpaid. There are too few of them per child. The facilities are not up to snuff, and the costs have increased more than rent, housing, food, consumer goods, and even pharmaceuticals. Again, that's with federal funding. And said federal funding is set to end on October 1st. It's estimated that over 3 million children are going to lose childcare over the next 6 to 8 months. We can almost guarantee that 3 million people will be exiting the workforce. And of course, that's going to be mostly women, but that's a topic for another video. What I know is a little bit about the Fed. I'm not going to say I know everything. I'm not a finance and economics wizard, but I know a little bit, just enough to be dangerous. I know that the Fed has limited levers at its disposal when it comes to fighting inflation. Big one, and sort of the final frontier, the third lever, if you will, is labor. The two main levers in labor are you can either change wages so that people are getting paid less for more labor, or you can reduce the number of people being employed and make it more competitive, so increasing unemployment. If you don't know, we are in a period of high employment, and you would think that that's good. However, for the Fed, during high inflationary periods, it is not. Recently, the chairman of the Fed was even asked, is that the next lever you have to pull, unemployment? And he said unequivocally, yes. So imagine my surprise when childcare, which is an infrastructure necessity for people to go to work, is suddenly on the chopping block when we need to be raising the unemployment rate and having less people working. Does that seem like a coincidence to you?
Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate you guys. Please, before you leave, I need you to please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And also leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I appreciate you all for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.